Welcome back to online classes conducted by Loyola English Medium School, Tuni. Good morning, students. Yesterday, already we have discussed about some important topics in the lesson 1. What are they? Treaty of Versailles, League of Nations, German Principal Dominations, and fear of the socialism. And next, today we have discussed about the consequences of the world wars. Already know very well about the world wars. First World War. The period of the First World War, 19, 14 and 18. Nearly how many years it is continued? 4 years. And Second World War, 1939 and 45. Here, this is also continued nearly 6 years. What do you understand about it? When there was happened the wars, here the wars are continued long period of the time in the world. When they have continued the long period of the time, then what happened? As a result of that, severely impact the politics, society and economy of the world. Here politics, society and economy of the world, these three aspects are severely impacted or influenced by the two world wars. Okay? As a part of this, here given the one thing, enormous human cost. Enormous human cost means, here mentioned the enormous, more. When there was happened the two world wars, already I told you they have continued long period of the time. As a result of that, there was died the most of the people and most of the people were injured. Are you understand this? And next, First World War. When there was happened the First World War, nearly how many people are died in the First World War? 10 million people. And Second World War. When there was started the Second World War, how many people are died in Second World War? Nearly 20 to 25 millions of the people they have died in Second World War. Who are the people died in First World War and Second World War? Who are the most of the people died there? The most of the people are the men. Who are the men died there? Most of the people, their age under 40 years. Under 40 years age people, mainly they have died and they are men. They died in First World War and Second World War. Are you understand this? And next, when there was started the two world wars, here by the two world wars there was created the arms race. What is that? Arms race. So when there was created the arms race, according to this, at present, what are the richest countries? These all countries every day they have produced the most powerful weapons. What are the weapons? Nuclear weapons and chemical weapons. Already Second World War, which is ended in 1945, but up to now there is not happened any war. But still most of the countries they have produced the weapons. That means they have started the race. Here the race, arms race, which is created by the world wars. Here these all countries they thought in the future there will happen the Third World War. If there was happened the Third World War, to participate in the Third World War, what they are doing? At present they have produced the most powerful weapons like nuclear weapons or chemical weapons. I understand this? Due to this, up to now, still most of the people they are living under the fear of threat. Under the fear of threat. Why? Because when these all countries are producing the weapons, chemical weapons or bombs or nuclear weapons, every day most of the people they thought accidentally if they have explosion, then what happened? Automatically the entire world was smashed. Or understand this? This is about the enormous human cost. Next one, democratic principles asserted. Already, due to the two world wars, the two world wars, how did they happen here? They happened under the undemocratic governments. When they happened under the undemocratic governments, as a result of that, there was brought a great dangerous, or there was brought the destroyed to the world. Then what happened? Then onwards, who are the people lost due to the wars? That all people they have supported the democratic governments. When they have supported like that, automatically the democratic aspirations or the democratic governments they have strengthened in the world. I understand this. They have strengthened in the world. After end of the First World War, already I told you, undemocratic governments are the main reason to start the First World War. What are they? For example, Russian Empire, German Empire, Austro-Hungarian Empire, Ottoman Empire. These are the some examples of the undemocratic governments. After end of the First World War, these all undemocratic governments they have ended, and instead of that, there was set up the new democratic governments. For example, take the Russian Empire. Russian Empire, which is ended, and instead of that, there was started the socialist state or socialist government. And German Empire. Later, German Empire, it is also out of monarchy system, and instead of that, there was established the Weimar Republic. This is equal to democratic system. And Ottoman Empire. Here, Ottoman Empire, Turkey. Instead of that, there was set up the democratic and secular state, and also Austro-Hungarian Empire, Austria. That is also end, and instead of that, established the democratic governments. I understand this. So these are the best examples strengthen the democratic aspirations in the world, especially the democratic aspirations they have strengthened in undemocratic government areas or countries. Understand this? Next, at the time, most of the colonial countries they are ruled by the European countries. For example, Asian countries, African countries. When they have ruled by the European countries, already I told you there was under the undemocratic systems, and instead of that there was started the democratic systems. So immediately these all countries they have demanded the European nations for them giving the self-government. Previously they are ruled by the European nations, but then onwards they have demanded them self-government. Self-government means they want to rule themselves. I understand this. So finally what happened? When there was end the Second World War, then most of the Asian countries and African countries they got independence or freedom from the European countries. How it is called? This is called as decolonization. This is called as decolonization. Colonization means they are under the control of the European countries. Decolonization means they got freedom or independence from the European countries. Are you understand this? This is about the democratic principles asserted. Next one, change in balance power. When there was the undemocratic governments like Russian Empire, German Empire, Austro-Hungarian Empire, Ottoman Empire, as a result of that, once again, they want to redraw the Eastern and Central Europe map. How it is drawn here? Mainly, the map which is drawn on the basis of three aspects. What are the three aspects? The three aspects are the nationality and economic viability and military security. So on the basis of these three aspects, once again they want to draw the Eastern Europe and Central Europe. At the same time, after the Second World War, when most of the Asian countries, African countries, these are called ex-colonies. Ex-colonies, they are independented. When they got the independence, and also there is a need once again draw the world map. This is called change in the balance power. And next one, new international organization. New international organization. Already I said about the League of Nations. When there was established the League of Nations, it was failed to stop the wars, and again there was happened the Second World War. So when there was happened the Second World War, after end of the Second World War, again did not happen any war in the world. For this purpose, there was established the one organization. What is the name of that organization? The organization is the UNO, United Nations Organization. United Nations Organization. When was set up this organization? October 24, 1945. October 24, 1945. This is also celebrated as UNO Day. Here is asked the one GK question. When was celebrated the UNO Day? October 24, 1945. When there was set up this organization, at the time, how many countries they had membership in this organization? 54 countries. Only 54 countries they had the membership in this organization. At present, how many countries they had the membership in the UNO? 193 countries. How many countries in the world? 195 countries. Among the 195 countries, here 193 countries they had the membership in UNO. Next, where is located the UNO? What is the headquarters of the UNO? New York, US. The headquarters of the UNO, New York. New York is the one of the city in US. United States of America. Are you understand this? Next, here UN is a kind of government. How it is working here? This is working as a one kind of government. And UN, how it is worked here? Mainly based on the four principles. Based on the four principles, the UN is worked here. What are the four principles? mind them, they are very important for 2 marks. What are the 4 basic principles of the UNO? What are they? First, preserve the peace. The main responsibility of the UNO to preserve. Preserve means to protect the peace or to maintain the peace across the world or among the countries. And next one, uphold human rights. For all human beings, by the UNO there was given the human rights. So what are the human rights are given by the UNO? These all rights are uphold. Uphold means they have protected by the UNO. Next, respect international law and justice. International guys, there was maintained the law. So here not only UNO, all countries must and should respect the international law, and the international law, it is also protected by the UNO, and achieve the social progress. Social progress. How to achieve the social progress here? When human beings are developed in all aspects like education, health and other aspects, especially people to develop in these all aspects, which is played an important role, UN played an important role, and also it is tried to achieve the social progress among the all people. When there was achieved the social progress, automatically that is leads to development of the world. Are you understand this? So these are the 4 principles of the UNO. Mind them, they are very important for 2 marks. Next, present UN, how it is working? This is working through the some organizations. What are that organizations? Here mention the some of the organizations: UNICEF, UNESCO, WHO and ILO. First, UNICEF. UNICEF, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. What is the full form of the UNICEF? United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. That is the UNICEF. Its headquarters New York, US. And UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. Where is located its headquarters? Its headquarters Paris. Paris in France. Are you understand this? And previously already we have discussed about the WHO, ILO. WHO, ILO, they are also organizations. Every day the UN, this is working through these all organizations. And they are also considered as important organizations in the UNO. So when there was set up the UNO, here most of the people or most of the countries, they have criticized the UN. How did they criticize the UN here? At present the UN, it is working as a tool between the 2 major powers. What are the 2 major powers? US and USSR. Is it true or not? It is not true. And after Second World War, to prevent the wars in the world, the UN, if it is succeeded or not? Yes, it is succeeded. After Second World War, did not happen any wars in the world. That is managed by the UNO. So, to control the wars in the world or prevent the wars in the world, the UN was succeeded. Are you understand this? This is about the new international organization. Next one is enfranchisement of women, or right to vote for women. Already to get the right to vote. Here right to vote is the political right. To get it, most of the women in the world, they have started the struggle. The struggle, it is continuing long period of the time. So when it is continuing long period of the time, finally to achieve this, they are succeeded or not? They have succeeded and they have got the political right, that is the right to vote. British women, as a part of this, British women first time they got the right to vote in 1918. 1918. When they were started the First World War and Second World War, here most of the men, they have participated in the battlefields. Battlefields are war. At the time, remaining people means who did not participate in the war, and women and children, they have required some of the industrial services and other services. Generally, these all services are done by the men only. But at that time, there is no men. When there is no men, but remaining all people, they have required these all services. Must and need to them. Then how do they get these all services? Then these all services are done by women. Then most of the women, what they are doing? To get these all services, they are working in hospitals, schools, colleges, shops and voluntary organizations. Almost in all departments they are working, and they have earned the money. They have earned the money. When do they have earned the money? Then what happened? Among them, there was developed the self-confidence. What is that? Self-confidence. Self-confidence means that onwards, women, they are ready to do anything. Previously, they are not engaged in these works. But when there is no man, when these all works are done by the women, then women also able to do these all works. So like that, among them there was developed the self-confidence, and also they become the breadwinners. They become the breadwinners. Breadwinners means women, they are doing the work and earned the money. With the help of that money, they have purchased the bread or food. So they are called breadwinners. Are you understand this? Among them, when there was developed the self-confidence, suddenly women, they raise their voice. They raise their voice and they have demanded for them also provide the equality in all aspects with men. So when they have raised their voice, first they have started a struggle to get the right to vote. So when they have started the struggle to get the right to vote, in this direction, first they are succeeded and they have get the big success, and finally they got the right to vote. Are you understand this? This is about the enfranchisement of women, or the right to vote for women. This is a lesson. The world between was part 1. Already completed. The lesson is completed. In this lesson, we have discussed about the different aspects. For example, Eric Hobsbawm, he described the 20th century, the age of extremes, and next power blocks and death and destructions, and next immediate provocations of the world wars, World War I, World War II, and next causes of the two world wars: aggressive nationalism, imperialism, secret alliances, and militarism. And to end the First World War, there was made the one treaty. That treaty is the Treaty of Versailles 1919, and also according to this treaty there was set up the one organization, League of Nations. It is also set up in 1919, but it was failed. It is not succeeded. There was happened the Second World War. When there was happened the Second World War, the Germany, it was faced with some of the problems due to First World War or due to conditions of the Versailles, and it has decided to take the revenge on the remaining countries, and again it is also developed well, and due to some reasons there was started the Second World War, and people they have faced the different problems. Then onwards most of the people they are not supported the wars, and they have supported the socialism or communism or democratic governments. So these are the some of the important aspects. So these all aspects are very important. Students, don't waste your time. With the help of the material, what are the important essay questions are there on this topic? You have prepared the some of the notes for this all questions. Or understand this? Okay, let's stop here. Again, we will meet in the next class. Thank you.